This tutorial is a simple crash course for modelling in 3ds Max. My goal is to take you from total beginner to being able to model basic props. This tutorial won't be perfect, but I've tried to keep it as streamlined and informative as possible. First, you'll want to know how to navigate the scene. To maximise the viewport, you can use Alt-W or navigate to the left menu here and find the Restore Viewport. You can also use Alt-W while selecting over the viewports you'd want to go into, and just Alt-W. To pan, like I'm doing here, just hold the middle mouse button. To rotate around the object, Alt and middle mouse button while moving the mouse. And to zoom in, you'll want to use the middle mouse button to scroll, or you can hold down the middle mouse button using Alt and Control and just move the mouse forwards and backwards. If you want to center in on an object, you can press Z. Before I start modelling, I'll usually change the scene unit. Navigate to your Customize Unit Setup dialog and change the settings to what you need. I tend to use centimeters because this is what the Unreal Engine uses. You will want to make sure that 1 unit equals 1 centimeter under the System Unit Setup so that max units are in centimeters too. There are 4 main ways to move our geometry. We can move our geometry by pressing W or selecting the Move tool, and we have access to all the different axes. And we can also freehand by holding or dragging the middle. We can rotate by going to our rotate tool or pressing E. So we have all the different axes here. Now we can go to the angle snap toggle at the top here, or press A, and then it will no longer snap in degrees, so this is useful for fine tuning certain rotations. We can scale our object by navigating to the Scale tool along the top, or with the hotkey R. This allows us to scale our object on any axis. The Place tool can be used to move objects quickly onto surfaces. To start a model, you will usually drag out primitive geometry from under the Geometry panel. You can drag these out by selecting them and dragging, and while dragging, if you want to cancel your selection, you can press mouse 2. We can modify this shape by going to the Modify tab here, and we have access to the length, the width, height, and these segments. We can give ourselves more objects to work with by going to this tab here. I tend to use the hose. I'll just drag out a sphere and then go back to the hose. So this is useful for creating pipes because we can bind it to objects. And now when I move these objects, follows it along. Another one that I tend to use under the Dynamics Objects panel is the spring. This is because it'd be annoying to create something like this with a spline or a cylinder. Obviously you've got more access to the functionality from this panel.